Hello everyone, it's Philip Boxa here, and in this video we'll go ahead and talk about SEO and is SEO worth doing in 2025? Because like everything else, SEO changes, okay, and it changes quickly. The whole world changes quickly, and it's the same thing about businesses, marketing, whatever it is, things change quickly. So is it worth doing in 2025? So if you're a beginner and you're starting to learn about marketing, branding, and you've stumbled upon SEO, this is going to be the video for you. Okay, so there are two things primarily on Google, and we're going to talk about Google because that's the biggest place where SEO happens. SEO means search engine optimization, and you could do search engine optimization on things like Yelp, on platforms like Yelp, because it is also a search engine and you could go up in rankings and things like that. But Google's the most popular. So, and most people, when they search SEO, should I do SEO? They ask those questions. It always kind of pertains to Google. So we'll talk about that. So now in 2025, I feel like focuses a lot on paid advertisement. And it's not the same as it used to be a long time ago, 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, right? When I started, Google looked a lot different. When we first started with my home cleaning company, we ranked everywhere. Okay, so we had the Google Map Pack, which are the listings with reviews that I think are most important, and I still think they're going to be the most important, and that I would 100% figure out how to rank there. Then under that, you have the organic listings. Okay, so that's where you rank your website, and if someone, for example, searches cleaning services Chicago, you're up there. So when we first started, we not only had the Google Map Pack ranked, so our Google business profile was ranked, but our website was ranked. And then if you remember, and you've been in the game long enough, Yelp back in the day used to allow you to rank the profile page. So we had the Google Map Pack, our website, and then our Yelp profile ranked as well. I still remember we were paying like $900 a month for I think 2 years or something like that to get that ranked. And then overnight, Google or Yelp was like, nope, we're not going to allow that anymore. So they just de-indexed every profile from ranking, and it kind of went away. But I'm sure for the 2 years that it was up there, it brought us a lot of clients, so it was worth it. But overnight, things happened, and they didn't allow that. Why didn't they allow it? Well, because probably someone Googled cleaning service Chicago. They clicked on the Yelp page and it went directly to our business. But instead, they want, to rank 10 best cleaning services in Chicago. That Yelp wants you to click that link. So now their whole page of cleaning services is on there, and those services pay for ads. And that's why they probably did that, right? They didn't want us taking the traffic directly. They wanted to, gear it somewhere where they could make more money. So that's why they probably did that. But that also goes to show you how things change, and they change quickly overnight. If you're, relying on one thing, you could go out of business. And that's why I always talk about, branding, why you should brand your business no matter what. Because if you're just relying on ads and turning customers and not even focusing on quality of work, those customers will never come back. And if something changes, you're out of business. So build a brand. That's always number one. Don't ever rely on one channel. You can at the start, because I do think that once you figure something out, go all in on it. But then once you are making money from it, go and find a second or third channel, so you're not always relying on one channel, right? But going back to that, we were ranked on all those things, and it was bringing a lot of traffic, and that was back in the day, right? But now in 2025, a lot of things changed. Now they have introduced Google LSA. Again, I think, Google doesn't care too much about their businesses. I think they're about small businesses. I think they care more about bringing in more money. So they've introduced, Google local service ads. So now you have ads there with those Google LSA ads. Then you have Google AdWords, which again was there. Then you have the Google Map Pack, and then you have organic listings. So if I'm searching, online for, let's say, cleaning services Chicago or poop scooping Chicago, pressure washing Chicago, by the time I'm going to get down to the organic listings, I probably already found who I'm going to be, doing business with. And that's because I'm either going to go on Google LSA, which happens a lot now because it's based on, reviews as well, which is pretty much the, most important indicator of if someone's going to call you or not. So right there, they're probably going to decide if they're going to do business with you at that moment, right? If not, well, then they still have Google AdWords to go through, which maybe they'll skip that. But now they have a Google Map Pack, which is organic SEO based on the reviews and in the map pack. So now by the time they get to your Google organic listing, 99% of the time they for sure already found who they're looking for, right? Especially if they're on mobile. So now that goes to the question, is SEO worth it if you're starting to rank it, if you're starting it in 2025? And I definitely cannot say yes or no because it depends on several factors. If you don't have a lot of money and you're going into a saturated market, we're talking very saturated, like Chicago, New York, California, Houston, whatever, right? Texas, whatever it may be. Now, I would personally not do it because there are people that have been in business for a very long time that are fighting to rank on the first page with so much more money than you. It's going to be near impossible for you to rank there. So automatically, I would say no, it's not worth it because, again, remember, there's so many things ahead of that Google organic listing that only a little bit of, amount of traffic is going to go to that organic listing, but you have to spend so much effort and so much time to go up there. Is it worth it? In my opinion, no, it's not, right? But now, should I do it, and fight against people that are on that map pack where you go based on reviews? Well, you're still going to be going after reviews and trying to get as many reviews as possible. Kind of in parallel, you're working on that SEO, right? On getting to the map pack. All you have to figure out is, how can I get reviews faster than that other person? And you're giving yourself a chance to outrank someone that maybe has been in business for 5 years, right? And is on first page 3 positions of the map pack, which are very important, right? So would I go and compete? I would maybe not say I'm going to make it a mission to go and rank on there. I'm going to make a mission to go after reviews and be the number 1 rated service in the area, right? There might be people that have a head start, but maybe they're not going quickly. Maybe they're only getting 1 per week or 2 per week. And now all you have to do is craft a plan. How can I, get 10 per week? Is it possible? Of course it's possible. You just have to figure out how you can do that. And the more money you have, the easier it's going to be because you can buy traffic, you could buy clients, and you could get reviews. And what I mean by clients is you could spend more on marketing, right? So you could literally say, I'm going to spend $10,000, maybe not acquire more customers, but I'm going to put an effort to get every customer that I can to leave a review. And who knows, doing that for 1 or 2 years with a combination of other things may naturally place you on that map pack, which I think is always going to be important because reviews are an important metric and you should be chasing reviews. So by kind of doing these things, you might end up in there anyways, right? Even if you're going against a saturated market. So I think that is important. The one underneath that where it's organic, it's not as important because if you are in a saturated market, you are probably not going to get there, right? It's unlikely if someone is paying that much more money than you. Some people spend thousands per month to try and rank there. But if you're a new business and you don't have much money, you're not going to have the resources to compete with them, right? So in 2025, my opinion, if you're in a saturated market, I would be very skeptical of trying to get in there. And if there's an SEO company trying to get you to spend money with them, my biggest thing is to tell them, hey, show me who you've ranked in a saturated market in the last 2 years and show me where you ranked them. And then call those people and see what they did, how they did it, and study it. Because if they're just going to show you someone they ranked in not a saturated market, and we'll go ahead and talk about the difference there in just a second, there's no point of, even talking to them. They're just trying to scam you. And I think SEO companies are one of the best at scamming people because it takes months to see results. So all they have to do is tell you, don't call me for 6 months because you're not going to see any results for 6 months at least. So don't call me. Keep paying me every single month because you have to in order for them to get you links, whatever, work on your page. And after 6 months, they collected this much money. If you're paying $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month over, 6 months, you paid them $30,000, and 6 month comes, you don't see any results. It takes time to get to first page. And then the higher you want to climb, the more it's going to take. And they have that leverage. And when you understand that, you won't call them, right? And that's why SEO companies scam, and it's easy for them to scam people, okay? So be careful with those. But now we're going to go back to not saturated markets, okay? With not saturated markets, that's where you may have an upper hand on SEO. So if you're going somewhere and you see, okay, you do your research, and on the map pack you don't have competition that has a lot of reviews where you can go ahead and try to beat them and quickly get ranked there, okay, which is important. And the same thing goes for a keyword in a maybe location that's not saturated for the organic listings. If you have the opportunity to do that because it's not saturated, that might be worth your while. That might be a good marketing strategy for a beginner to do, okay? So those are the two differences. You have to make sure you look at how saturated it is and who is spending so much money into SEO versus an opportunity like a not saturated market where not a lot of people are either there or not spending a lot of money, right? That's where you can win. And that's how you have to look at marketing in general. Figure out those little openings as a new business where you don't need to spend a lot of money or effort, but you could grab as much out of it as possible, okay? And because once you start, making money, then you could start getting help from some professional. You could start, looking into SEO companies that have references that will literally show you rankings that they have done in a very saturated market. And then you ask them, how much is it going to cost to rank there? And now you can kind of decide, okay, I'm making this much money. Am I able to afford this? Should I even be able to compete? Should I even go in and compete with these other, big businesses that are spending so much money? And then once you decide that, you have to know, okay, this is going to be an investment, just like anything else, just like growing a business. This marketing channel which is SEO, is an investment. Am I going to be able to sustain this for 10 months of, sending money, spending money, investing money without anything happening for 10 months? And who knows, maybe it's going to take 15, because I truly believe that no one has SEO figured out. They do know enough to make proper, decisions and head in the right direction. But since Google, just like anything else, their algorithm is changing all the time. No one has this figured out, right? So it could be, 10 months, it could be 20 months before you get to the first page in a saturated market. So make those decisions, because I can tell you right now, anybody that's promising you that it's going to happen quickly or within 6 months in huge saturated is scamming you, okay? Because it's not going to happen. It could happen that they're going to tell you, I'm going to rank you for your name or some small keyword that brings in 5, searches per, which, yeah, they will be able to do that for you and show you results because nobody's ranking for those things. There's no competition. Nobody cares about that stuff, right? And if no one cares about those things, then it's anybody can rank there. It's super easy. All they have to do is couple things. And there are times where sometimes these SEO companies will tell you, hey, let me show you this one, how we can rank you for, for free on this one. So you can now spend this much money with us on the saturated keywords, because they know that, this keyword's going to bring them $100,000 in profit, and they still might not get you anywhere. But here they're going to be able to rank you, in a month or 2 or 3. and without a lot of money on there and or effort. So there's, there's a lot to look at, but when you're vetting SEO companies, make sure, you have solid references that they've performed the job, because I'm telling you, this is one industry, one market where people scam very easily, and they could get away with it because it just takes so much time to see results, and they will sell you that it takes, time to see results, so don't bother them. So is it worth it? You have to do the research yourself and see. If you have the money, if you have the budget, if you're starting, most likely not, what's most important to you, and how long can you sustain this. But I know for a fact that Google Maps, that's super important, and you should be getting reviews anyways and as fast as possible. So you never know, you might end up ranking there just because you're getting reviews.